Gotta back off!
Come on now. You and me?
Bullet. Drive.
Hey guys, today we're diving headfirst into the dusty, chrome-plated chaos that is Mad Max Fury Road, a film that redefined action and gave us a reason to believe in practical effects again. We kick things off with Max, our titular grumpy hero, muttering about his past demons. He's essentially a haunted man, living in a world that's gone utterly mad, which is honestly a mood I can relate to some mornings. He's swiftly introduced to the concept of unwanted guests, as a horde of pasty, screaming warboys descends upon him like seagulls on a dropped chip. If you had a good time with this, a like and a subscribe is a free way to help me keep making
my war rig to bring back once again. I salute who will ride with me and your redeemer.
Get ready.
Do not bite it. It's absent.
I got a war boy running on empty. The universal donut!
Bullet foul. Line.
Go! Go!
Ace!
Slick!
Furiosa! She took a lot of stuff from me.
Not today. I'm staying here, dying soft. Take my blood bag and strap into the Lancer's pump. Here's Shelby's blood bag. Right. His head, he looked me straight in the eye. Waiting in Valhalla!
They're firing flares.
Tour. But I ain't doing it.
Should we turn it round and...
She's ours, Slit! Get up! Bring home the booty!
She thinks she can lose us, Dad!
Bang it! Watch what have you done? Bang it! I am the man! Witness! I die! I live again!
Who eats Schlanger?
I'll stay out of it.
Polecats. Count the cost.
Dragging something out back.
This war boy wants me dead! I live again! Him.
Watch it.
Lift it up!
That's why we have his logo on and everything.
We're not to blame!
I don't know if it's still any good.
The rig.
Stay. You stay.
I'm supposed to be alive.
What's your name? Fine. 1, 2.
All this for return my treasures to me. You will ride in on. Mediocre.
Turn the rig around!
Did you see it? We keep moving.
Turn green lights. We don't even know where Stop! He'll forgive us! What's wrong with that? We are not there! Hear that again! They were her words! Going back to him. Anna! Where did he come from? I thought we...
High ground, just beyond that thing.
Flag? Encroaching gunfire?
Hey! Let's get the engine plates.
Ah!
How are the engines?
Hey.
Come on, Pa.
Praying to who?
Gotta back off!
One now. You and me?
Bullet.
One breath at a time.
Hey.
She's exsanguinated, trained.
Furiosa.
Reveal yourself!
It's him.
Our hero, Max, quickly finds himself on the express elevator to hell, but with more chrome. He's dragged through the incredible vertical city known as the Citadel, a place that looks like a supervillain's lair designed by a truly dedicated Geiger fan. We get our first glimpse of Immortan Joe, a man who clearly believes less is not more when it comes to face masks and breathing apparatuses. He's a terrifying spectacle, a sickly despot ruling over a thirsty, desperate populace, doling out precious water like it's his personal bathroom. Max is quickly branded a universal donor, which is a fancy way of saying human juice box. Strung up, literally, becomes the personal bloodbath of a particularly enthusiastic, hasty war boy whose main purpose in life is to die gloriously for Joe. You can almost feel the chill of the metal shackles and the sting of the branding. The cheers of the masses are unsettling. Desperate chorus echoing through the cavernous stronghold. Now, let's meet the true MVP of this whole dusty endeavor, Imperator Furiosa. She's introduced as a no-nonsense, one-armed powerhouse, a truly monstrous vehicle, the War Raven. She's ostensibly on the supply line, heading to Gastown for fuel, which, in this world, are basically your grocery store and your pharmacy. But Furiosa has a secret cargo, far more precious than gasoline. Tucked away in the belly of the beast are Immortan Joe's 5 wives, his breeders, who are more like prisoners than partners. These women, fragile yet determined, are seeking freedom from their gilded cage. The reveal of them, huddled together, scared but hopeful, is a powerful moment. A quiet defiance against the roaring engines. The metallic grind of the gears as Furiosa shifts into high, the roar of the engine as she pulls away from the Citadel. It all screams freedom for some, and imminent doom for others. You know how it goes when you realize that someone's borrowed your favorite coffee mug without asking? Multiply that by 1,000, add a dash of tyrannical despotism, and you get Immortan Joe's reaction when he realizes his property, his wives, are gone. The man goes absolutely incandescent with rage, his guttural roar shaking the very foundations of the Citadel. It's a truly chilling sound, full of possessiveness and fury. He dispatches his entire deranged armada, a glorious symphony of roaring engines, clanking metal, and screaming war boys. This isn't just a chase, it's a full-blown desert ballet of destruction. And guess who's along for the ride? Still attached to Nux, a very unwilling, conscious backpack. Yeah, Max. It's essentially a very unhappy foot ornament, constantly having his blood pumped into a crazed, cancer-ridden warrior. The rumble of the convoy starting up is a terrifying sound, a clear declaration that the chase is officially on. Max, bless his weary heart, isn't one to just accept his fate as a living IV drip. He starts his meticulous, bone-jarring escape, dragging Nux along like an extra limb. Meanwhile, the first major skirmish explodes around him. It's a metallic opera, smashing vehicles, screaming warriors, and the thunderous roar. Nux, in his desperate attempt to prove his worth to Immortan Joe, is driving him back, which only makes Max's escape attempts even more vehicular. Max is flung about, chain clanking against metal, the physical struggle palpable. You can almost feel the desert grit and the jarring impacts. The speed of the vehicles, the rapid-fire choreography of the war boys grappling with Furiosa's rig, it's all a beautiful brutalness. The sound of tearing metal and the whoosh of flamethrowers paint a vivid picture of this insane, high being pursued by Immortan Joe's entire fan club wasn't enough. Furiosa then has to contend with the buzzards. These guys aren't just scavengers. They're basically mobile porcupines, with vehicles covered in more spikes than a heavy metal concert of a medieval torch. They emerge from the canyon, their engines growling looking to strip the world, just cause general mayhem. Max is still stuck to Nux, a truly symbiotic relationship that neither party seems to live. The battle here is a visceral symphony of grinding metal and desperate maneuvers. Furiosa is a master, expertly dodging and weaving, trying to shake off these persistent attacks. The metallic clang of the grappling hooks trying to latch onto the rig, the frantic shouts, it's all incredibly tense. You can practically taste the dust and burnt fuel in the air.
Bring home the booty!
Just when you think things can't get any worse, Mother Nature decides to throw a tantrum.
She thinks he can
A
lose us
monstrous,
now.
swirling sandstorm, a real hold onto your butts kind of event, descends upon the desert. It's less a storm and more a force of pure chaos. The visual spectacle of this thing is mind-blowing, a swirling vortex of red dust and lightning. The sound is definitely a roar that drowns out engines and screams at them. In this literal whirlwind of chaos, Max finally gets home to breathe. Like a ragdoll. He's violently separated from Nux, finds himself in a truly dangerous yet liberating situation. He's briefly free of his blood red demons. Freedom in a cataclysmic sandstorm is arguably worse than being a human being. The feeling of sand blasting your face, the disorientation, it's all incredibly merciful. You can practically hear the crackle of electricity in the air. Once the dust literally settles, Max, still chained and bumpy, stumbles towards the relative safety of the road. This is where he finally gets a proper look at Furiosa's cargo. It's not gasoline or bullets, but 5 radiant young women, Joe's wives, who emerge from the rig, desert goddesses. Max's initial reaction is, naturally, what in the world are these delicate flowers doing out here? He's not exactly known for his chivalry, more for his survival instincts. A tense standoff ensues between Max and Furiosa, a battle of wits and brute force that sees them both almost killing each other multiple times. The sound of their close-quarters combat, the desperate grunts, the clang of metal as Max uses his chain as a weapon, it's all incredibly raw. They eventually realize that bickering like an old married couple isn't going to get them anywhere, and a grudging, highly dysfunctional alliance is formed. The wives, witnessing this brutal dance, are understandably terrified but also intrigued by these two forces of nature. With their shaky alliance cemented by the sheer necessity of survival, the war rig roars back to life. Max, still chained, is now actively contributing, albeit with a lot of heavy sighs and exasperated grunts. He's learning that sometimes helping strangers is the only way to help yourself in this godforsaken world. The war boys, who were busy shaking sand out of their helmets, quickly pick up the chase again, with engines howling like hungry wolves. Meanwhile, Nux, having been abandoned by Max and failed Immortan Joe, is crawling through the desert, a picture of absolute despair and humiliation. He's determined to prove his worth, like a very eager, slightly charred puppy trying to get back into its owner's good graces. The sense of constant movement and impending doom is relentless. The rumble of the engines, the metallic grind of the truck, the desperate shouts of the war boys trying to catch up. It's a non-stop assault on the senses. Next up on our places you definitely don't want to visit on vacation tour is the Bullet Farm. It's an industrial nightmare, a literal factory of death run by a delightfully unhinged character appropriately named the Bullet Farmer. He's got a bandolier for personality and a thirst for chaos. Furiosa's plan was to trade her precious guzzolene for some of the loud stuff, essentially trying to keep up appearances while making her escape. But the Bullet Farmer is no fool. He quickly sniffs out the deception, probably because Furiosa's poker face is more stoic warrior than casual trader. The whole thing explodes into a cacophony of gunfire and explosions. The crackle of bullets hitting metal, the concussive boom of grenades, it's all incredibly intense. Max, surprisingly, is now fully invested. using his limited freedom to protect the wives and the rig. The wives, not to be completely useless, are helping load ammo and even getting their hands dirty. Even Nux, now a prisoner again, gets a front row seat to the mayhem. The bullet farm wasn't just a pit stop, it was a full-on war zone. Max, showing that he's more than just a robot, takes the fight directly to the bullet farm. The action here is tight, frantic, and gloriously violent. Max, still a man of few words, uses every ounce of his survivor instinct, his chains, and anything he can get his hands on to deal with these guys. Furiosa, meanwhile, is a force of nature in the driver's seat, skillfully maneuvering the rig and providing cover fire. The metallic grinding of the bullet farmer's tank-like vehicle, the deafening thud of Max's punches, the satisfying crunch of a well-placed shot. It's all part of this chaotic ballet. The bullet farmer, for all his bluster and firepower, is eventually outmatched by Max's raw tenacity. There's a beautiful moment of Max using a massive gun with a truly satisfying thump-thump sound. This scene really highlights their growing unspoken trust. They're a deadly duo, even if they'd never admit it. They leave the bullet farm in ruins, having secured more ammo than they probably know what to do with, but at a significant cost in terms of vehicle damage and emotional toll. Just when you think they might catch a break, the war rig finds itself in a narrow, winding gorge. It's like a desert version of a roller coaster, but with more death and less fun. This isn't just a scenic detour, it's a gauntlet. And of course, a new threat emerges. A massive biker gang, whose primary mode of transportation appears to be motorcycle acrobats with explosive spears. These guys are absolutely wild. Scaling the sheer rock faces, swinging on long poles like deranged circus performers, and dropping bombs with alarming precision. The clang of metal against rock, the guttural screams of the bikers, the sheer audacity of their attack. It's a masterclass in vehicular combat. Max and Furiosa are once again fighting a team, a ballet of brutality and desperate survival. Even Nux, still somewhat of a liability, but slowly starts to show glimmers of usefulness. The wives, meanwhile, are doing their best to stay out of the crossfire. Fear of you can almost feel the vibrations of the glass, explosions echoing through the narrow corridors. Amidst the screaming engines and exploding motorcycles, the little war boy who couldn't quite die gloriously, finally finds his purpose. He's been chewed up and spat out by a Morton Jerry, seen Bob's plight, and now finally he sees a path to something resembling redemption. He actively steps up, not for Joe, but for Furiosa and the wives. There's a particular moment where he's covered in blood and dust, and his eyes shine with a new kind of conviction. He takes risks, he helps protect the vulnerable, and he begins to truly earn his place in humanity. It's a subtle yet powerful transformation, highlighting that even in this hellish wasteland, humanity can stay the desperate grunts as he pushes himself, all underscore his newfound resolve. He goes from being a crazed fanatic to a genuinely brave, albeit still somewhat goofy member of the team. He's basically that one friend who shows up late to the party, but then saves the day with a bag of chips. After battling through what felt like every hostile faction in the wasteland, the group finally reaches a vast, shimmering salt flat. This is it. This is Furiosa's green place, the promised land, a place of lush vegetation and sanctuary. Her hope, which has been simmering beneath her stoic exterior, is almost palpable. But, like most things in this universe, it's a cruel mirage. There's no verdant paradise, only endless white. The dream is shattered, literally drying up before her eyes. The only inhabitants are a small group of formidable elderly matriarchs, the Vuvalini, led by the wise keeper of the seeds. These women, survivors themselves, confirm the tragic truth. The green place is gone, swallowed by the sands. The look on Furiosa's face as her deepest hope crumbles is heartbreaking. It's a moment of profound, quiet despair amidst all the roar and chaos. The silence of the salt flats, broken only by the mournful wind, amplifies her devastation. Max, in a rare moment of tenderness, tries to offer support, recognizing a shared pain. With the green place, lust and despair settling in, Max, in his typical no-nonsense fashion, comes up with a plan so crazy it just might work. He points back in the direction they came from, back towards the very lion's den they just escaped, the Citadel. His logic is brutally simple. Immortan Joe has pulled all his forces to chase them, leaving the Citadel virtually undefended. Go back, he growls, and we take the Citadel. It's a bold, almost suicidal move, but it's a plan, and at this point, any plan is better than no plan. The initial reaction is a mix of disbelief and fear. Returning to the clutches of Immortan Joe seems utterly insane. But Max, in a rare moment of persuasive dialogue, lays out the tactical advantages. The wives, seeing a chance for true liberation, begin to rally. The metallic clang of the rig being turned around, the renewed rumble of its engine, signifies a shift from desperate flight to determined attack. The wind whipping past their faces now carries a new scent, the scent of hope, albeit mingled with the stench of inevitable bloodshed. They're not just running away anymore, they're running towards a fight. Now the real fight begins. The group, united by Max's audacious plan, starts to prepare for Immortan Joe's return. They've picked a prime spot, a narrow canyon that's basically a natural choke point. It's like setting up a really violent, high-speed game of whack-a-mole. But the moles are psychotic warboys. The whack involves explosives. Nux, now fully on Team Furiosa, is absolutely buzzing with purpose, meticulously planting explosives and rigging the war rig to be an even deadlier mobile fortress. The wives, no longer just damsels in distress, are actively helping, loading ammo, setting traps, and preparing for the fight. Even the Vuvolini, with their grizzled wisdom and ancient weapons, are ready to throw down. There's a tangible sense of quiet tension, the calm before the storm, the metallic click of a rifle bolt, the soft thud of explosives being placed, the creak of the rig as modifications are made. Every sound adds to the building anticipation. It's a testament to their newfound unity, a motley crew of misfits ready to take on an empire. You can practically hear the desert holding its breath. And then, with a thunderous roar that shakes the very ground, Immortan Joe's forces return. And when I say forces, I mean a literal wall of chrome, fire, and screaming warboys. He's brought everyone. The Gastown goons, the Bullet Farm fanatics, even the Doof Warrior is back, providing a surprisingly catchy soundtrack to the apocalypse. The ambush hits like a thunderbolt, explosions rocking the canyon, vehicles flipping, and chaos reigning supreme. It's a metallic opera of destruction, a beautiful, brutal ballet of vehicular combat. The ground rumbles with the sheer weight of the machines. The air crackles with the sound of gunfire and screaming engines. Max is in his element, a silent, deadly force navigating the carnage with a grim determination. Furiosa, behind the wheel of the rig, is a warrior queen, her face set with an unwavering resolve. The wives and the Vuvolini are fighting for their lives and their future, each blow struck carrying the weight of their stolen freedom. You can practically feel the heat of the explosions and the grit of the sand kicking up into your eyes. This isn't just a battle. It's a statement, a defiant roar in the face of tyranny. The battle rages on, a relentless assault of metal and fury. In the thick of it, Furiosa, our formidable imperator, takes a serious hit. She's gravely wounded, and for a terrifying moment, it looks like it might be over. But Max, who has spent this entire movie grunting and looking annoyed, suddenly unleashes his inner hero. He becomes a human shield, a force of pure protective instinct. He fights his way through the overwhelming tide of warboys, carrying Furiosa with a grim determination. The sounds of their struggle are raw and intense. The desperate grunts of Max, the metallic clatter of his improvised weapons, the wet thud of impacts. He's navigating a landscape of explosions and flying debris, a man on a mission. This isn't just about survival anymore. It's about saving her, saving their chance at freedom. He even offers his own blood to keep her alive, a truly profound act of trust and self-sacrifice from a man who usually trusts no one. It's a beautiful moment of unspoken understanding, a bond forged in the crucible of chaos. You can almost feel the desert wind whipping around them, carrying the dust and the desperation of the fight. The battle is reaching its frantic crescendo, a maelstrom of metal, fire, and screaming warboys. Furiosa, our formidable imperator, wounded but utterly undeterred, knows this is her moment. She's not about to let Immortan Joe, the architect of her suffering, despair, escape. In a move of sheer, breathtaking audacity, she launches herself towards Joe's monstrous jaws, a metallic beast underneath his ghastly skeleton. She uses a grapple, not just as a tool, but as an extension of her unyielding will to bridge the gap. This isn't just a It's a deeply personal, visceral reckoning. It's the oppressed against the oppressor, freedom against tyranny. Joe, for all his terrifying, grotesque presence and layers of armor, is finally face to face with the woman he underestimated. A warrior forged in the very fires of stone. The sound of their struggle are raw and brutal, the desperate grunt of their efforts. The metallic clang of the prosthetic arm impacting his arm. The desperate wheezing gasp of Joe as his life support is threatened. Furiosa's resolve is absolute, fueled by years of suffering. The shield and hope of a better future for their lives. In the moment that makes everyone in the audience simultaneously cheer, she delivers the final, devastating blow. With a gut-wrenching twist, she uses the very grappling hook that connects them, not just to pull, but to Joe's life-sustaining breathing apparatus, and with it, his very jaw. It's a grotesque, powerful, and incredibly satisfying act of vengeance. The triumphant roar of the rig, the metallic screech of Joe's colossal vehicle, the stunned, horrified silence that follows Joe's definitive defeat. It all creates an unforgettable moment of pure, unadulterated liberation. Joe's tyrant rig, built on fear, scarcity, and subjugation of others, finally crumbles in the desert. The collective gasp of relief from the wasteland is almost audible, a wave of shock and exhilaration washing over the fighters. Morton Joe is gone. His grotesque reign ended in truly spectacular. But the battle isn't over. His remaining warlords, initially stunned by their leader's demise, are now a leaderless, enraged mob still swarming the war rig. The rig itself is a metallic wreck, barely holding together, its engines groaning under the strain. Furiosa is gravely wounded. The wives are doing their best to keep her alive. It's a desperate, frantic scramble to escape the chaos that just happened. This is where Nux, a little girl, his soul, steps up to deliver his ultimate sacrifice. He's no longer seeking a place in Valhalla for Joe. He's fighting for a real future, a real home, but these women need to be careful. He volunteers to hold up the enraged warboys, taking the wheel of the rig, while Max, with surprising tenderness, helps Furiosa to safety. Nux's final moments are incredible. He shares a look with Capable, one of the wives, a silent goodbye for genuine affection. Then, with a fierce roar of defiance and a heartfelt, "Witness me!" he steers the rig into the canyon walls, detonating the remaining explosives. The earth-shattering boom is deafening, sending shockwaves through the desert. A massive rock falls the pursuing warboys, sealing off the canyon and finally, definitively cutting off their pursuers. It's a beautifully shot and gut-wrenching moment. The dust settles, leaving a quiet, somber victory bought with the ultimate price. Nux, the boy who just wanted to be shiny, became more than that. He became a legend in his own right, proving that even the most indoctrinated can find their humanity. You can almost feel the ground tremble from the impact and the sudden heavy silence that follows, broken only by the whimpering of the sand and the distant echoes of their escape. The immediate danger has passed, thanks to Nux's incredibly brave, incredibly loud send-off. The war rig, battered and scarred but victorious, now makes its way back to the Citadel. This isn't just a retreat. It's a victory procession, a stark declaration that the old order is fallen. Max,
Reveal yourself!
Addict, tends to Furiosa's severe wounds, ensuring she has enough of his O negative to keep her in the fight. They arrive at the Citadel's base, where the masses, parched and desperate, are clamoring for them. It's a moment of profound tension. Will they be accepted, or will the vestiges of Joe's regime retaliate? But the answer comes in the form of a dramatic reveal. Immortan Joe's grotesque, lifeless body is hoisted, a stark and undeniable symbol that the tyrant is no more. The sight of their deceased loved ones sends a shockwave through the crowd. Importantly, through the remaining warboys. They look at his mangled face, then at Furiosa, still standing, still defiant, even in her pain. The shifting allegiances seem instantaneous, palpable rage over the masses. The warboys, who lived and died for Joe's vision, now see a new path, their leader in Furiosa.
Gotta
It's an
back off!
incredibly powerful moment, a bloodless coup orchestrated by the sheer weight of Joe's defeat and the hope that Furiosa represents. The collective gasp of the crowd, the subsequent roar of triumph, the clatter of weapons being dropped. It's a visceral, sensory overload, marking the true end of the war. It's a beautiful testament to the idea that sometimes seeing is believing, especially when seeing is your oppressor's jaw. Crowd knocks on the other side, murmuring with a mix of awe and relief. Furiosa, supported by the newly freed wives and Max, begins her ascent to the very peak of the Citadel. It's not just a physical climb, it's a symbolic one, a journey from the depths of oppression to the heights of liberation. The giant, rickety elevator grinds upwards, alone accompanying their slow, triumphant rise. The visual is stunning. The desperate, thirsty faces of the masses are picking up the newfound hope, bathed in the desert. The wives, once fragile captives, now stand tall, fear replaced by a quiet strength. They are no longer just property. They are the architects of a new world, a testament to what happens when you decide to stand. Furiosa, battered and bruised, her arm bandaged, stands as the undeniable leader, gaze fixed on the promise. The sheer scale of the Citadel, once a symbol of Joe's crushing tyranny, feels like a beacon of hope. The sounds of the assembly platform, distant cheers, and liberated dances, the wind whistling past their faces. It's a symphony of change. They reach the top, bathed in sunlight, a new day literally dawning on the desert. This isn't just a regime change, it's a paradigm shift. And for a moment, even Max, our grizzled, cynical hero, has a flicker of something close to approval in his stoic face. He's seen a lot of bad in Wasteland. This is something different. The ultimate symbol of a new era. Furiosa, standing on high, makes good on the ultimate promise. With a dramatic flourish, she signals for the main water valves to be opened. What follows is nothing short of miraculous for the people below. Torrents of life-giving water cascade down the Citadel's face. A literal river in the desert. The cheers are deafening. A desperate, overjoyed roar from the masses who have suffered thirst for so long. People are literally drinking from the falls, splashing in puddles, utterly reborn by the simple act of having water. It's a powerful, visceral moment that transcends mere politics. It's about restoring fundamental human dignity. The tactile sensation of cool water on parched skin, the desperate gulps, the collective sigh of relief, it's all incredibly moving. But it's not just about immediate relief. The wives, now true leaders, join the Vuvolini in an equally profound act. Beginning to plant seeds. Tiny, fragile seeds, carefully nurtured and carried across the wasteland, are now placed on parched earth around the Citadel. It's a symbolic, defiant act of hope. A promise that life, true life, can return to this ravaged world. It's the beginning of a green future, a stark contrast to the chrome and fire that defined their past. This isn't just about survival anymore. It's about rebuilding, about nurturing, about creating something truly lasting. And for a brief, shining moment, the Wasteland feels a little less mad, and a lot more. And then, in a moment that perfectly encapsulates his entire character, Maxwell Tansky, grumpy, reluctant hero, does what he does best. He disappears. His purpose here is fulfilled. He helped Furiosa liberate the wives, brought down a tyrant, and initiated a new era of hope for the Wasteland. He sees the water flowing, the seeds being planted, the people celebrating, and knows his part is done. He shares one last meaningful glance with Furiosa, a silent acknowledgement of their shared ordeal in the profound, unspoken bond forged in the fire of war. It's a look that conveys respect, understanding, and perhaps even a hint of gratitude, which for Max is basically a full-blown declaration of love. He doesn't wait for thanks, he doesn't seek glory, and he certainly doesn't stick around for any kind of group hug scenario. That's just not his style. He simply turns and melts into the cheering, celebrating crowd, becoming just another face in the sea of humanity. The metallic clang of his boots on the dusty ground is the last sound of him he hears as he becomes a shadow. The legend, fading back into the desolate landscape, he knows all too well. He's a wanderer, a survivor, destined to roam, perhaps still haunted by his past, but now maybe just a little less alone in his solitude. It's a poignant, bittersweet ending for the character, reminding us that some heroes aren't meant for crowns, but for the open road. He's like that guest who helps you clean up after the party, does a really good job, and then just poof, disappears without a word. True class. As Max, our silent protector, melts back into the endless, swirling dust of the wasteland, Wasteland, the camera lingers on the Citadel, now dramatically transformed. It's no longer a fortress of tyranny, but a burgeoning symbol of possibility, a beacon of change. Furiosa, though still bearing the deep scars of battle and the physical pain of her wounds, stands tall on the highest platform, flanked by the wives. These women once are now not just survivors, but resolute leaders in their own right. They oversee the masses below who are finding genuinely receiving the white share of water, a cascade of life-giving liquid that must have seemed an impossible dream just hours before. The sounds here are profoundly different now. The frantic screams of desperation have been replaced by relieved sighs, the metallic clang of chains by the gentle, soothing murmur of flowing water, a sound almost unheard in these arid lands. It's a symphony of renewed life and nascent peace. The image of the wives, hand in hand with the wives, healing the patriarchs, carefully nurturing the fragile seeds they carry across the entire wasteland, placing them to the view incredibly powerful. It's a deliberate, defiant act of creation, as a previously defined soul destruction. This isn't just about merely surviving. It's about actively thriving, about rebuilding, about cultivating, about proving that even in the most desolate, unforgiving landscapes, hope can take root. The Citadel, which once represented the brutal crushing of humanity, is now becoming a vibrant testament to its resilience and boundless potential. It's a fragile hope, yes. The wasteland is still vast, unforgiving, and teeming with unknown dangers. It's a hope that has been desperately fought for, profoundly bled for, and ultimately it serves as a powerful reminder that even when things seem utterly hopeless, when the world is literally trying its best to kill you and break your spirit, humanity, in its most compassionate, collaborative form, can still emerge victorious. It really drives home the idea that sometimes all it takes is a tiny spark of defiance to ignite a monumental revolution, proving definitively that even a single prosthetic arm and a whole lot of grit can, in fact, change the entire course of history. They've sown the seeds of a new world, literally and metaphorically. The faint scent of wet earth now mingles with the ever-present dust, promise whispered in the wind. So there you have it. Mad Max. Fury Road isn't just an action spectacle. It's a wild, roaring testament to the human spirit's refusal to break, even when faced with the absolute worst. It teaches us that even in the most barren and brutal landscapes, hope can be. True change often comes from the most unexpected of heroes. Furiosa, the wives, nuts. They remind us that courage isn't about being fearless, but about taking that impossible step forward anyway. This film makes us ponder the vital resources we take for granted, the power of collective action. May we all find our own paths to a greener, more just future, even if it doesn't involve a chrome paint job.
Schlange.
I'll stay out of it.
Polecats.